Jennifer. Joseph, how are you doing today?
Yes, good. Good. How are you?
Good, good. Oh, we got Helen there and Tim. Joseph, how are you doing today? Uh-oh. Now I got my background going there. Now I got that cut off. Sweet. Well, I know we'll get a few more people up. More people are jumping in right now. Loving it, loving it. Cool. Well, welcome to Role Play Wednesday. I love that background, Tim. Is it Tim or Tim John? How do I say it?
You can call me Tim or Tim John.
Okay. That's a cool name though. And I love the background. It's like Rolling Stone lips with a $100 bill or something.
Right.
Yeah. David, welcome. Good to have you. Awesome. So I love this, and I kind of want to talk a little bit about guts today. We're going to do some role play Wednesday, and on this, Claude talks about the rules of guts too, and the guts rules we talk about, and some of the things. And here's some of the things I want us to kind of think about. First is the salesman comes first, right? The salesperson comes first, and how do we avoid it whenever sellers want to lie to us or brush us off or do some stuff like that. So we'll probably talk a little bit about that, but I wanted to open it up because this is really for you guys. This is really for all of you guys and girls that are going through the real life struggles of talking to sellers or talking to clients and trying to get more deals. So what are some things that you feel are you may be struggling with that can help everyone else out as we relate to this?
My struggles is normally at the end when it's time to close, especially when I'm trying to structure the creative side of it. I've noticed that's where I'll have good conversations at the beginning, in the middle, and then right at the end is where I normally kind of get weak at.
Okay. Well, so is everyone on the call here? Is everyone kind of doing real estate? Or are you doing anything else like insurance or anything like that? Or everyone's real estate related? Sounds like okay. David's shaking his head. Yes, Tim. Jennifer. Okay, good. So I kind of will focus a little bit on that side of it for a second. I want to kind of go through the steps of guts really quick, just to make sure that we are all on the same page. So whenever let's see if I can share my screen here. So when it comes to guts, I think of it like a staircase. There's 3 steps to it. And what's the first step on guts?
Agenda. Expectation.
Agenda, yeah, the agenda. And that's where we kind of set up the roadmap, the call. On the agenda step, what are some of the things that we want to cover with the seller right up front or the client?
Who we are and why we're calling.
Okay, who we are, what the purpose of the call, right? Purpose of call. What else?
That we're going to be asking questions and they can ask us questions too, and then they can fire us if they want to.
Yep, ask permission. This is the interesting step. If you're asking permission to ask questions, because then if a question gets a little too personal, you say, well, you said it's okay to ask you questions, right? And then you said to fire us. I also like to refer to it as okay to say no. If it doesn't work for you, it's okay to tell me no. The same thing for me. If it doesn't work for me, I'm going to tell you no, right? What's the next step on the gut staircase? Hey, Ty. John here too.
How you doing?
Then you ask
Qualification.
the qualifications questions.
Yes, qualification.
the why is the first question.
Now, this is where it's all question based, right? Now, when it comes to especially in those that are in real estate, there's several things, and you just said why. That's probably the biggest, why are they selling? The motivation. I've heard people talk about like it's the motivation, the situation, the magic question. If you can get this will help you out. Sometimes they won't tell you this. Sometimes they hold their cards really close and tight to their chest. They don't want to say why.
Right? They're special.
Sorry, give me a second.
They get a
Sorry, guys.
discount to.
No problem. So what are some other on the question pillars here too?
The EQ, right? Pain and pleasure.
Yeah, so that'll be under the motivation. Whenever we're talking to, say we're in the real estate world, what are some other things we want to find out about, say, the property?
Your time frame.
The next one is money.
Yeah, time. Money is also if it's real estate related, it'll be the price that they're looking to sell.
Yeah.
And then commitment.
Yep. That'll be kind of going over here.
And the condition of the property.
Yeah, condition. A lot of times whenever this is kind of like the small talk question, we get them talking about the condition, what they've done to the property. The time frame, a lot of times will give you the motivation. They say, well, I have to sell it in 30 days. Is that a motivation? That they're going to foreclosure. That's a pretty high motivation. Sometimes they won't tell you that until you come to the time frame question. Now over here, what's the third step of the guts?
Tying it all together or the close?
The close, yeah.
Oh.
And also, I think David just hit it. He talked about the commitment, right? This is where you want to find out, do they have the commitment? Do they have the integrity to make a decision on that, right? And that's the commitment part. And a lot of times a lot of salespeople will have no problem go through these first two steps. And then we start to like gulp and get a little butterflies in our stomach, because this is either we're going to get rejected or we're going to get accepted. So now on here, I want to think of a couple statements. Claude uses suppose, imagine. We're using ways to help.
Yeah, that's good. That's really good.
Yeah. Suppose, imagine. I also like what if. So what if you got this property sold and you got the money you needed in the next 30 days? How will that help you? Or imagine for a moment, suppose we can do this, right? And so those are all steps to that close, and then finalizing it on that part. But I like this. I have a question for y'all. Who remembers their first date? I'm gonna pick on the guys for a second, because it's usually in the guy world, girl world, usually guys are asking the girls. Would you say that's for the most part customary?
Yeah, vaguely. Yeah.
Okay. So now, David, do you remember your first date?
No.
No. Do you remember no? What about you, Tim? Yeah. If you can unmute yourself there. Sorry.
That's all right. Yeah.
So what was it like getting the confidence up to ask out on the first date?
It was pretty tough. Very scary.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
I got a story to share with you guys. Okay, and hopefully this doesn't make me seem like too much of a goofball, but okay, I gotta do this real quick. So there's a group of us, and we were all at my house, and this is back in the day before cell phones. Remember, everyone had the corded phones, and then we went to the antenna phones, and then we had the cordless phones. So this was still where we had the wire, the long wire, and we didn't have the rotary phone, but we had the push button phone, right? And it was connected to the wall. So this will date me a little bit. So all my friends are over at my house, and we're taking turns calling different girls to go out on dates with us, right? For a group date. And before we started, we had to get into the mood. So we had a jam box. Do everyone remember a jam box?
Yeah.
Okay. The big portable radio with the cassette. This is before CDs. They had the cassette players and the big
Yeah, the
speakers on the
boombox.
side. The boom box. Yeah. You put it on the side, right? So we had our boom box there and we put in the tape. Okay. And we're trying to get ourselves all like excited and pumped up, right? So we're playing this thing. And then we'd pick up the phone and we'd call. And we're like, and then we got ourselves so jacked and pumped up, right? And then, especially at junior high level, right? Are we worried about rejection?
Mm-hmm.
And in front of your friends, what if she says no? Oh my gosh, that just kills you. And guys tease guys, right? And you get ripped. So like, oh my gosh, please. So you're so nervous, right? How do you get over rejection? Who likes, let me ask you this, who likes to be rejected? No. Guess what one of the best ways of getting over rejection is?
To get rejected a lot.
Bingo, David. Bingo. Now in sales, it's just, you're almost to the point where, like, hey, I'm just closer to the next person. Next. Now it's like that Ariana Grande song. What's that one? She talks about her boyfriends. Thank you, next. You know, hey, next, I'm going to talk to the next person. If they're not interested, I'm going to talk to the next person. How does that, is that like it's almost like callousing yourself. Again, you're like, you have a callous against that rejection now, right? So being rejected is actually one of the best ways to get over that. So the more you talk to people, the more you get yeses, that builds your confidence. But overcoming that, sometimes you have to go through more rejections. If you're rejected, you're fine. You're ready for the next person, right? Are we going to sell everyone? Are we going to get every seller to sell us their house? No. And we shouldn't assume that, right? We just got to realize it's just part of it. Uncle Claude's here.
Just came out of the pool. Just did my laps.
Nice. I did my hair today too.
Hey, all the gurus always told me at all the seminars, everyone's a prospect, right?
Everyone's a prospect. No.
I have
given, find out who are the prospects and who are the suspects.
I have given $1 million presentations to people and said, Claude, that's great. I'm ready to buy it, but I don't have any money. I had to waste 45 minutes or drive in my car or meet somebody somewhere and buy them a latte for them, and then find out after the fact they had no money, they couldn't make the decision, or they didn't really need it or want what I was selling. That was kind of my epiphany to not everybody is a customer. So why can't we find out real early, right?
This is one of the things that have saved me a lot of time, Claude. I appreciate that. Didn't
mean to interrupt.
No, because we're just talking about the 3 steps in the guts process, right? And we're talking about the qualifying step and then the closing step, the agenda, the qualifying, and the close. Yeah. And so a lot of that is understanding that we got to kind of get that up front. We figure that out right away. It saves us a lot of time.
Yeah. Where the devil's at? Don't leave home without it.
We can figure out in 3 minutes or less, right?
It's amazing what you can do in 3 minutes.
Right.
I got this idea on my honeymoon.
Oh no.
Thank you, Tim, for laughing at that bad joke. Thank you, Tim.
I've heard that joke once or twice.
I know. I recycle everything, man.
I love it. Yeah. So this is the thing that we were talking about, Claudia. I was just explaining about how the first time that I asked a girl out on a date and the fear of rejection.
Are we recording this?
Yes.
Oh,
yes.
Good. I want this for posterity.
I was just explaining how there's a bunch of us gathered around the phone at my house, and this is back before the cordless phones, you had the wall plug-in, you know? And yeah, there you go. And we had the big boom box with the cassette tape. And we had a little song playing to get us pumped up, you know. That's the song we play before we get on the phone and call. And then all that confidence we had almost went out the window whenever someone on the other line answered the phone. You know, so we're talking about how do we overcome rejection? And David nailed it. He said, by getting rejected, the more you get the no's, you don't take it personally. You just move on, and now you have the confidence to find out who the real prospect is.
I hate no's. I avoid the no's. David's much better than David. Mr. Martinez is much stronger character than me. I can't take the no's. I don't want to hear no's for hours and hours. Is that just me or anybody else feel that way? I hate the no's. I hate the rejection.
If you qualify them first, you don't even have to get to the no. You can say no to them.
Yeah, Brandon, doesn't sound like we're going to do business today. The money's a challenge for you right now, and until you take care of that problem, I think that's what you said. We're not going to move on this real estate deal. Is that a pretty good summarization, sir? Before I leave.
Yes, you're right.
Okay, great. Well, I appreciate that up front and everything like that. This has been a wonderful 3 minutes. Let me ask you something before I go. I just had a quick idea. If the money wasn't an issue, you wouldn't want to do this real estate deal. If there was some way, let's just take the money out of the picture.
Well, what do you mean? Like
forget about the money. If you could do this deal, do you like this house? Would you like to do a rent to own on it? Would you sign a 3-year contract if you didn't have the challenge of the $15,000 option money down? Because I know you can afford the rent. It was the $15,000 you told me, right?
Right. If I didn't have to do that, I'd be very interested in it. Yeah.
Very interested means what?
Like I want the house. I just don't have that $15,000 up front.
Okay. Oh, so just so I understand, before I leave, if you had the $15,000 or that wasn't a challenge or an issue to you financially, we would be doing a deal right now.
Yeah. I just don't have that $15,000 in the bank right now.
Okay. Off the role play. I know, Tim. What am I doing? What am I doing here for Brandon? With Brandon, where do you think I'm leading this?
You're putting him in a corner for sure. I mean,
am I getting the big C word? What's the C?
Yeah.
The commitment. Okay, so you take the commitment out, and then if you think you have a solution, you can do financing or lower the price or do something. Then you bring it back in and you close them. But you act like I don't like the no's, so I'd rather fire the prospect up front just to protect my sensitive little ego here. Okay.
And we do need that, because if we get rejected too often, we procrastinate, we put stuff off, we don't want to make the calls, we don't want to get on the phone anymore.
Oh,
right?
Yeah. And the thing is, if we can fire the hey, it doesn't sound like we're going to do business today. Remember I said in the beginning of the agenda, one of us can say no to this today if we're not a good fit and everything. And I'm going to say no right now because this is not financially feasible for you. And I understand that. We're just coming out of the holidays and money's tight right now and all. Let me ask you this, just quick question, and then I'll leave. If it wouldn't make it, if I was willing to finance that $15,000 at 0 interest, that wouldn't make a difference in us doing business today, would it?
Yeah, it would make a big difference. Yes.
But maybe we should talk about that. You wouldn't have to go to anybody else to make this decision. If I could be crazy enough to be flexible on the terms, you would be the decision maker right now?
Yes, I'm the decision maker.
Okay. Off the role play. I got the time factor. I'm working on the money factor, and he's the decision maker. Am I out in the second step here and qualifying him while getting little baby step commitments, the third step?
I love it. And that's what we're talking about. We're talking about the staircase.
Yeah.
The qualifying and then the close, right?
And now you want to reverse roles, or somebody else want to take over here? Mike, who wants to take over and close Brandon and negotiate a note or financing? I know how to do it. Who wants to learn how to do it?
Come on.
Come on.
Close me, someone.
Come on. We don't bite. I'm ready. I got some boohoo tissues for you if you get beaten up. Okay. Come on. Come on, young David Martinez. Come on. Get in, jump in here, David.
I'm confused though. Am I the one calling to purchase a
We're
house?
taking
Or
over my role because we're here for you to learn. And what's the best way to learn?
is he a tenant buyer? Or
Yeah, I'm a tenant buyer.
Tenant buyer, you need 15,000, and now you know he might have 4,000 or 5,000, and you need to negotiate a note to make this deal happen. You need $15,000 committed today. You want to get some cash today. Why are we in business, David?
get paid today?
Amen, brother.
Okay.
Really? Okay. So go ahead, close Brandon.
Okay. All right, Brandon. So it looks like you're wanting to get into this house, but you have how much did you have down to put towards the house?
I might have $5,000 saved up right now.
5,000. Okay, so we need 15,000 down. Would you be okay with working with something creative? Say we take the $5,000 down and finance the rest of it, 0 interest. Would that be something you could do today?
What type of payments are you thinking about, and for how long?
What would be affordable for you payment wise? Because I don't want to put you in a sticky situation.
Yeah, I mean, I can probably do 1,000 a month.
1,000 a month. Okay, we can definitely do that. So 1,000 a month.
No, struggle.
Yeah.
If you're
Struggle.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but if you give it to him too easy, what's going through his mind?
I should have asked for less.
Just struggle. Oh, usually I was expecting 1,500 or 18.
Okay.
Wow, 1,000. Oh, let me think about that for a second.
Okay.
You give him the 1,000, he's going to think he got the best deal in the world.
David, you're the girl at the end of the date, and if you act like you're so excited to kiss the boy first, you got to make him come to you a little bit.
This is so
Okay.
unwoke. We are the most.
I haven't played girl in but I'll try my best. So let's see.
You ought to try it. It's wonderful.
Okay, so $1,000. Okay, so we were looking for 1,600 a month. 1,000. Is there any little bit more you can affordably put forward?
It's going to be I mean, 1,000 I can do a pretty okay, but I don't know if I want to stretch it much more because it'll be tight for me to pay the rent too and everything else.
Totally understandable. Okay, so if we were to get the $5,000 down and then $1,000 a month, would you be okay with doing this deal today with me? Now.
Yes.
Okay. All right. Wonderful. So let me go ahead and put the contract together and I'll send it over to you. I want to put it together in 30 minutes. I'll give you a call. Are you going to answer my phone call or are you going to leave me hanging?
No, I'll be right by the phone ready for your call.
Okay. Let me go ahead and put that together and I'll give you a call back in 30 minutes.
Thank you so much.
Now,
Appreciate
do a little. That was good. Give him a round. That was good.
Okay.
He just made $15,000, $5,000, 1,000 a month on a note. Is there anything wrong with that, ladies and gentlemen?
Heck no.
No. What's only one little thing? I'm an overcritical Claude here. Give him a cookie at the end. A little Brandon, teach him post sell.
By the way,
I'll try.
David, this is one of my weaknesses. I forget this all the time.
I'll try.
Thank the prospect, give him a little compliment.
Well, Brandon, looks like we're gonna get you in that house today. You did a good decision and going forward with this, and I'm gonna do my best to get that financing to you, situated or whatever.
Give him more. Give him so he's.
You're gonna be a homeowner soon.
You're a great guy. I like you. I like doing business with you. You're a gentleman. I know you're an honest man. You're old school. You keep your word. We're going to talk in a half hour. Imagine how happy your wife's going to be tonight when you tell her you got a nice home here for her and the kids to move in and everything. Why is that important? Why am I such a nudge on this stuff?
Buyer's remorse.
Yes. Yeah. And by the way, this is absolutely this is not a con game. This is absolutely true. You are grateful that they're a decision maker. You are grateful that they can keep their commitment and keep their word. That's the type of people you want to work with. So I feel this is very authentic too.
What happens when we acknowledge people? When we tell people, you did a great job. Oh, I love, thank you so much you were so helpful. What happened? I don't care if you're in a Walmart, you're sitting at a dinner table, you have a good waiter or waitress. What happens when we acknowledge people?
Dopamine.
Ronnie,
It makes them feel good, put a smile on their face.
It does. And what if Ronnie, can I call you Ronnie, Miss Howard?
Oh, yes, you
Yeah.
can.
Can you, what happens if you need something more? You want to sell them, you need a referral, you need information, you want to call them back. Do you think they're going to remember you and most importantly, like you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Yes. And we've gotten away with this. We've turned into, I always say it, The Walking Dead. You guys been to the airport lately? What's everybody doing? Right?
Yeah. Always on the phone. Yeah.
Always on the phone. We have lost the ability to interact personally with people because we're so into, anybody here gone to a restaurant and seen a 6-year-old with an iPhone besides me? Is that crazy? Or how many people here seen 4-year-olds with iPads and thrown them at the dinner, throwing them around? I've seen this in restaurants. What are parents doing nowadays?
They're letting the iPads babysit the kids.
Yes. And what is that child learning? Or that 8-9-year-old who goes to school with $1,000 iPhone? What is that child learning?
No social skills and no interpersonal skills.
Yeah. Yeah. It's all texting and stuff like that. And what I discovered a long time ago is if I could hone in on my skills. I was a horrible salesperson. I'm the former world's worst salesperson. I was very shy, reluctant to I was not assertive, not a bully, but in sales, I've studied successful people in business, and guess what are the qualities they have? We remember, Brandon, we did this about 2-3 weeks ago. What are those
really
qualities?
good communicators? Really good communicators.
Are they a little bit assertive in a good way?
Yes. Very assertive.
So important. I didn't mean to take over your show. I apologize.
No, you're not. No, Claude, come on. This is the guts role play.
I love this topic. This
is something I think. So just to kind of put this in perspective, I was talking to a friend of mine who is in the one of the big leaders of the LDS church, the Mormons, the guys that go knocking on the doors, ride the bikes, right? Good friend of mine.
Latter-day Saints, Mormons.
Latter-day Saints, yeah.
I have a lot of Mormon clients. They're wonderful.
Almost half of the kids are coming home early off of their missions.
Really?
And the study that they've done, it's because they're having anxiety talking to people in person.
Wow.
It's not there, because if you think about it, some of those people have always been recruited for some of the top sales because they learn to talk to people, they knock doors, they're not afraid of rejection. They're upbeat, they keep moving forward, they're goal oriented. So a lot of positive, and a lot of big companies go to Utah to recruit because of the sales force. But what has happened, there's been since the cell phones and the iPads, so many have been focused on the screens that there haven't been that face-to-face interaction. And they've almost lost the sense of that interpersonal communication. So you have to overcome that in sales and everything in our world today, right?
How do you overcome that when you're texting and emailing everything and your parents say don't talk to strangers? How do you overcome that and become this extrovert in business?
I'm going to let someone answer that. I have my own opinions.
You have to just do it and do it often.
Practice.
I would say that you let them know the distinction between a bad stranger and a stranger where you're trying to get them to, do something or buy your service or your product. So I would probably go there first, try to divide, okay, this is a bad person. This is a stranger that you want to stay away from with, oh, I got a cat. Would you help me find the cat? Versus, hey, I have some cookies to sell for school. Would you buy my cookies? Because I am in a contest. I got to win this bike. So that would be my.
I love that. I love that. I got a little quick story to share, if that's okay.
It's your show.
I have a son, and at the time he was about 10 years old, I think, 10, maybe 11, and he's left-handed, and we were at a flea market, this really big flea market here in Arizona. It's like a couple thousand people go through it on the weekends. And there was a pair of junior golf clubs, little kid golf clubs that were left-handed. They were $75. It's like, Dad, they have left-handed golf clubs. I can't believe it. And it's only $75. I'm like, okay, son, here you go. Here's $50. Go get it. He's like, but Dad, it's 75. I'm like, well, go talk to him, see if you can negotiate. I had the money. I just wanted him to go through that process of talking to someone that he didn't know, go up to him, try to negotiate the deal. He came back with the set of golf clubs, golf balls, and tees. The guy was so impressed with my son going up there, talking to him, negotiating the deal. He threw in golf balls and tees right off the bat.
It's amazing. I have a little video. It's only about 35 seconds. I think, can I share the screen for a second here?
Yes. Let me go ahead and give you, you have permission. Go ahead.
Thank you. Let me, you guys are going to love this. Can you see the screen?
Yep.
Imagine this. Imagine selling a truckload of Girl Scout cookies.
One local Girl Scout did, and she couldn't be prouder. Rebecca Diamond sold 1,000 boxes of Girl Scout cookies.
It's my daughter.
And she said it was a lot of hard work, but well worth it.
It makes me feel great because it's really fun and I know that it's hard to do and then I did it. So it's really great.
Rebecca earned not one, but 2 badges for her huge sales. She credits her success to the example her parents set in their home-based business where they, quote, worked the phones and pounded the pavement. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you at 11.
That was my little girl. She'd go out with a thank you. We're real proud of her. Today she does.
That's amazing.
Yeah, today she does the voiceovers for WebMD and Panda Express commercials and stuff like that. She'd go out with a little wagon in her cute little Girl Scout uniform with a sample tray. And then I don't know where she got this from. She'd go to people, did you want 1 or 5 of each box flavor? And she was the number. My house 20 years later still smells like Thin Mints. Okay.
There you go. Probably have some in the freezer still.
Yeah, and she got the equivalent of the Eagle Scout for girls. I'm sorry, I'm bragging about my own kid here.
I love it. No.
She got a scholarship. They get scholarships. My son did the same thing with popcorn in the Boy Scouts. Got a partial scholarship from the Boy Scouts and stuff. So, and this was cell phones were those little flip things, those clamshells. Then they weren't like this digital monster that we have today. I think a lot of it was, and we didn't let her go out alone or anything. One of us would always go with her, usually her mom and stuff. But what did this kid learn about communication? I guess that's the point.
Nice.
Jennifer, Jennifer wanted to say something. You got to unmute yourself. Come on, Jennifer, hop in here.
Just that it works.
Yeah. If we talk to people and this is the thing, do we use the right words the right way at the right time? You get a magic moment where you get people emotionally involved, you get them interested. And even if you don't make the sale, but you get a pleasant conversation and maybe a prospect for the future that you can follow up on, or maybe nothing, but it was pleasant. You weren't rejected. You weren't talked down to. You didn't get that snippiness or hangups and everything. I need that. I can't do the numbers game thing. You guys know Brandon, can we talk of numbers game?
Please. Yes.
A lot of
here's right here, Claude. You know what this is?
I can't.
I
No.
want to see this.
Well,
All right.
love it.
Can you see this way now? No.
Not against the black screen, and you got a black.
Oh, hold on. I can't see myself.
Tell us.
It is a box of paper clips.
Oh.
It's 100 paper clips. So one of the first sales jobs, they gave every sales guy a box of 100 paper clips. And they said, you need to make at least 100 calls. So they would have them dump out the paper clip. And every time they made a call and talked to someone, they throw that paper clip in the box. and they weren't done. They had to go through the whole box of paper clips. It's 100 calls a day minimum.
And what did that teach? What was the point of that, or what was the
Well,
lesson?
The thing of it is, they thought that was the key to success.
How about
was
knowledge?
just-
Isn't knowledge and practice the key to success and building up your confidence? Assuming you're selling a good product or solving a person's problem in real estate. We're problem solvers. I look at it.
Claude, do you for doing the business you do you have to make 100 phone calls, cold calls per day?
I can't. I'm only one person, and making 100 phone calls to me is like pulling my teeth without Novocaine. I live for good phone calls. I do the marketing, so I have good phone calls. Do I make cold calls? Of course, but I try to use those pattern interrupts so that if you there you go, rule of 5. Yeah. Yeah. My thing is, if I feel good about myself, okay, and I have a couple good phone calls, don't make any money, get a couple of voicemails, leave a gut style voicemail. Maybe Brandon will teach you that later. And I have some good conversations. Can I make more phone calls in the afternoon or the evening or the next day? Am I motivated enough? Is my ego not so bruised that I look forward to it? I think when you go tell people to make a lot of phone calls and they get a lot of harsh people or rejection, not because they're bad people, but because you're saying you're doing the same thing your competition is doing, and people are getting sick of phone calls or texts or emails. So if we speak to them differently, ring, ring, Jennifer, ring, ring.
Hi, this is
Hi.
Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer. This is Claude. Can you help me for a second? I am so embarrassed.
Sure, Claude, what do you need?
I've got your phone number here, and thank you. You're so nice to me, and I'm a total stranger. I've got your phone number here, and my desk is such a mess. You ever have a messy desk?
Definitely, but I'd rather have a messy one than an empty one.
Exactly. And I got one of these little Post-its here with your phone number on it. This isn't about real estate or something, is it?
Possibly.
How can I help you?
Well, I found myself in a bind, and it looks like I may need to sell.
Oh, is it your home, if you don't mind me asking?
It is not my home.
Oh,
Actually, well, I inherited it.
Wonderful. Oh, good for you. Good for you. Would you, so you're looking to sell, you're not living in it, you just want to sell it or remarket it as an investment, or what would you like to see happen today?
Well, I couldn't afford to buy it myself, so I probably need to sell it.
Okay, I'll tell you what. Can I just ask you a few questions, and you ask me a few, and I'll make you a couple different offers, and if we can do business, great. If not, you have permission to fire me right now. Okay,
Okay, that sounds fair.
Was that hard? Off the roll.
No.
You can give Jennifer a little.
Good job. Good
Thank
job.
you.
What happens when we act confused or we need help or rescue? What happens when we go to another human being and we say, could you help me? Ronnie Howard, I'm lost. I've never been in the big city before. Do you know where Avocado Lane is? Could you help me, please?
Yes.
Oh, you're such a nice young lady. Thank you. What happens when we approach people in a different way?
It's a pattern interrupt. They want to help you, Claude. Oh, hold on a second. What's that app on your phone that you can get a ride home from the bar if you had too much to drink?
Uber.
See, thanks, Claude. You just proved my point. You come to my rescue.
See, and I got totally sucked in. Doesn't he know it's Uber and everything? Boom! I had to rescue him. See, you don't even know when they're using the system against you.
And that was really good. A lot of times, whenever we do that, it becomes more human, though. Too, it's not the salesperson. I got the agenda. I'm gonna just sell you, hard sell. It's no. Let's be human beings. Because I think it's what's the rule? The 11th commandment that God said, you're allowed to lie as long as it sells people.
Ladies, I hope I don't offend you with bad language. I apologize in advance. The 11th commandment says you can still get into heaven by treating a strange salesperson like shit. Okay, so we would, if it's a total stranger who calls us at dinner time, how do we behave when that person calls us in the middle of our hot meatloaf dinner? Just came out of the oven, it's steaming, mashed potatoes and the peas and carrots, a nice home cooked Sunday meal. Joseph, what do you do? Hit the mute.
Just it's not good time. Can you call me tomorrow?
Oh, sure. And your name, sir? And is your house still available, sir? Because I'm with Fortune and Get Rich Quick Builders, and I wanted to ask you a couple questions about your home.
You want me to be hard on you? So no, it's not good
I want
time.
you to be normal. I want you to do what you would normally do. You got a meatloaf dinner, maybe a couple pierogies on the side. Okay. A nice hot dinner. And you just, and Helen just put it in front of you. And then I called. Are you going to be real nice to me on Sunday?
Possibly, yeah.
Really? You're a much nicer person than me. I would say, no, thank you. Not interested. Call me tomorrow.
Take me off your list.
Take me off your list. How'd you get my number? Isn't that the stuff we hear? Did I leave anything out?
Yeah, usually this way.
Okay. And when you get a phone call at dinner time, let it go to the voicemail, right?
Oh, it's better, yeah.
Yeah, that's what we do all the time. And half the time it's a robocall nowadays, right?
I believe 75%.
Yeah, and it's going to get worse with this new artificial intelligence. What is it called? GRP? Or Brandon, you know a lot about that stuff.
There's different ones. That one I don't think does it yet, but yeah, Google has one. Claude has a AI that will make it showed a recording of the AI calling a hairstylist to set an appointment for a cut and color, and it sounded like a normal person. They didn't even know it was an AI talking to them.
Wall Street Journal today said that Microsoft, which has Bing, the search engine that nobody uses, they are totally on board with this new artificial intelligence software. They're gonna because they have less than 8% of the total search engine market.
Wow.
Yeah, interesting how that's going to all change. How that might change marketing. I don't think it'll make it better for us.
I think the key is we just got to be original. We got to have the pattern interrupt. Ronnie, can I pick on you for a second?
Poor Ronnie.
Sure.
Okay, so you're cold calling me about my house, but I want you to call me and not be the normal salesperson. How are you going to get my attention? How are you going to do a pattern interrupt?
Okay. So hi, Brandon.
Hi, who's this?
Hi, this is Ronnie. How are you doing today?
Good.
Oh, I know I'm calling you out the blue. The reason for my call,
Is this a scam? What are you calling me about?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat yourself? I'm sorry.
I don't know what this is about. Can you just take me off your list?
Well, no. This is just about I got your information that you want to sell your home, and I was just
yeah, it's okay. I'm gonna let you go. You can just take me off your list. Thanks. Bye.
Yeah.
Ouch. Have we ever had that happen?
Yeah.
Okay. Now, who can also help Ronnie out with a different way, a way to pattern interrupt? Tim,
I'll go.
Ty's got this. Okay, Ty, come on.
Am I too late?
Too late.
Hi, yeah. Is this the owner of 123 Main Vista?
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's still available.
Oh, the house, yeah, it's still available.
Okay, great. Yeah, do you mind if I ask you some questions? You ask me some questions and we can see if we can do business today?
Oh, okay, cool. Sure. So I like that approach. Am I too late? I like that one. Who else has another one? You got to make sure I don't hang up on you, okay? Let's Joseph, ring. Joseph's calling me. Hello, it's Brandon.
Yes, hi, what's happened?
What do you mean?
I mean, what happened? So I saw your house for sale and it's not sold yet. I cannot believe in that.
Oh, who's this?
My name is Joseph, and I saw your house, and I'm very interested why you did not sell it yet. So something wrong with the house.
Oh, wow. I gotta get Joseph. That was really good. You kept me on the, by the way, we just got to get past that first 10 seconds, 5 seconds a lot of times, right? Claude, he did good on that?
Oh, you did great. I was cracking up here. You did great. Ring, ring.
Hello, it's Brandon.
Yeah, Brandon, how do you spell your last name?
F-U.
No. I have the paperwork in front of me, and I just want to make sure I put your name in correct for the offer on the sales agreement.
Paperwork offer for what?
Aren't you selling the home on Avocado Street?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we are.
I want to buy it today, but I have the paperwork in front of me. Maybe is it sold? Maybe it's gone already, and you don't want to sell it to me.
No, it's still available.
Okay, I'm ready. So Simmons is with 2 M's, right? Just so I get that right.
Yeah, two M's and 2 S's.
Thank you. You've been very patient. My name's Claude Diamond. I'm sorry to be so abrupt, but I'd like to ask you 2 or 3 quick questions and then make you an offer to buy your home today, if we can work that out.
Sure, I can do that.
Boom.
Good job.
Anything. I love Joseph. You cracked me up. I've heard that opening before. I wonder where you got it from.
From Uncle Claude, yeah.
The thing about it is, can we always fix it later?
Yes.
But if we say the same words that everybody else is saying, and they've heard it before, how are they going to react?
What do you guys think?
Click.
Yeah.
They're going to get click, and act confused, act like you're getting back to them, act like you got the paperwork in front. Can you have paperwork in front of you? Can you have, I'm working on the new lease purchase package here right now. Can you have a contract in front of you?
Yes.
Not lying, right? Hi, Tim, I got the contract in front of me here. I'd like to talk, if that property's still available, I'd like to make you an offer today. Cash or terms, you pick.
I'm looking to sell.
Good, you're so glad I got the right guy. I got the man. Thank you. Boom. And then you go in, then you set your agenda. The agenda is basically the rules of the game. I'm going to ask you questions. You're going to ask me questions. I'll make you an offer. You can fire me. Please just do me a favor. Don't tell me you want to think about it, or you got to go to church and light a candle first or something like that. Just tell me to get lost. Would you do that for me? You can do that, right, Tim?
Yeah, I can definitely do that.
You're a good man. Thank you. I don't want to waste your time here. Boom. And then you go into your second step, the qualification, which is the hardest part. You need to know your numbers and your facts and time frame and money and all that good stuff. And you only got seconds sometimes, right?
May I ask a question? Are you always doing pattern interruption, or is it only when how Brandon was kind of like rushing me off the phone? Is that when you throw in the pattern? When do you, I guess, insert it? Or because I'm just so used to scripts.
That's a great question, Ronnie. Why do you ask that?
Because I'm just so used to scripts, and in my mind, that's what I want to learn. It's just to flow with the conversation versus being scripted.
Yeah.
And by the way, everyone give Ronnie kudos for even jumping. This is her first week in this, so she's coming from the world of real estate and investing where everyone is following scripts. And what do we think of scripts, Claude?
The scripts are caca. Let me ask you, here's my problem with script. It's not that, I mean, Grant Cardone sells an 800-page book of scripts. Okay, but let's be realistic. Is it better to listen and adjust to the circumstance, the environment, the personality of the person, than it is, oh, hold on, Jennifer, page 384. What's that? It's right here. Why that? I'd like to ask you today, how are you today, Jennifer? Why don't we just learn to be natural and confident and relaxed. What is the message we send to people when we're spontaneous and we act professional? What's the message we send to them?
Authenticity.
Confidence.
Ooh, I like that word.
Authentic.
Authenticity.
Authentic. If I can't say it.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, do you need do we need a script for all things in life? Okay, there's no one script. Every phone call I make, there's some things that are similar, but there's many things that are brand new. We're dealing with so many variables. Is there one script that could fit all the different strategies, the personalities, situation? Is there one? No. So when we open up with the script, doesn't it sound, don't you know, let me ask everybody, don't you know when someone's reading a script? Don't you know it right away on the phone? I do. I can hi, how are you? Hi, Rob, Ronnie and Jennifer, how are you today? I'm just reaching out to you today. You know, they always ask you how you are, but they never let you answer. Do you ever notice that part? Do you ever notice that part? This is so much fun, Brandon. I should be paying you.
This is amazing because this is really the difference between a successful salesperson that gets paid today and someone that struggles and that hits their head against the wall, that keeps doing the same thing over and over and doesn't know why they're not getting different results.
We can struggle once in a while, but it's acting. Like David did, Mr. Martinez did earlier. And he did. Gee, what would your budget allow you to pay per month, Brandon?
I'm hoping about $1,000 a month.
Oh, we got a problem. Oh, man. Oh,
Struggles.
You know, usually people pay me $1,800, $1,500 at the lowest. That I'd be breaking all the rules if I did this. I'll tell you what, I'm in a real good mood and everything. It's my 5 Chihuahuas birthday today. I always fit in Chihuahuas. I'll tell you what, I must be crazy, but if I do it for $5,000 down, $1,000 a month towards the option consideration, and $1,000 a month the first year, $1,200 the second year, and $1,500 the third year, you wouldn't want to make a commitment and move forward today, would you?
Yeah, I think that step up would work. Okay. Yes.
Think?
Yes, that would work.
What?
Yes, that'll work.
Boom, commitment. It's acting, it's feigning ignorance, or you couldn't hear him. And when they use those words, Brandon does this so well. When they say maybe, probably, think, should, could, and everything, what are they really doing to you?
They're being very evasive, right? They don't want to commit to an answer. I
think they're doing it. Okay, I'm a junior pop psychologist. I'm sorry. I think when people use wishy-washy words, they're subconsciously paving an escape route.
Ooh, that's a good visual there. That's exactly what's happening.
I think some people use the word should, could, maybe, probably. I once had somebody say to me, "Oh, Claude, this sounds wonderful. And all things considered, I think we could probably move forward in the near distant future." Mr. Dummy here goes back to his car and says, "I got the sale. I got it." What did I not hear from that person?
Well, he ain't doing business with you.
Near distant future.
And with go ahead, Joe.
I think, was that Tim that was saying it? Go ahead and chime in.
Oh yeah, I was just saying, like he said probably.
Yeah.
Distant future. I mean, there was a lot of cues there.
So when you hear them,
maybe near future.
When they say that, this is a magic moment. Your ability to close them it's getting closer and closer. And when they say that, you answer in one word, a monosyllabic answer. You say think, maybe, probably, and they can't stand it. They'll reinterpret they'll give you a different answer. Or they'll get out of the deal. Well, what I meant by that is I have to check my finances, and then you know you got to work more on the deal or it's over. But a lot of times when they say think, maybe, probably, what they'll change their answer to yes. And that's what you need. You need a firm yes. Because if you let that dangling maybes out there, those wishy-washy words, they'll call you the next day, because in their mind, in their subconscious, their hard drive, they did not say yes. They said, well, I didn't say yes. I said maybe, probably, should have, could have. And that allows them to get out of the deal the next day without any shame or consequence.
And Claude, what I love about what you do a lot of times is you call them out. Like, well, usually when people say that, it's just a nice way of them saying, no, I'm not interested, or you don't, they're just too nice and too polite to hurt my feelings to tell me no. Is that what you're trying to do?
Yeah. And sometimes I'll fire him. Brandon, it sounds to me, you said maybe and probably and everything. I don't want you to do this deal if you're uncomfortable with it. I don't believe in high pressure, but you came to me with a problem. We negotiated the solution and the financing and everything. But if you want to say no, this is the time to do it. Would you like to say no? I have plenty. I can call up David or Jennifer and they'll take this deal today. So don't worry about it. Let's do what's right for you.
No, I want to do this, Claude. Let's do this.
I'm sorry, what?
Yes, I want to do this.
Okay. I do very annoying whats. I'm sorry. But I like
the hearing aid. It's like use Q-tip salesman.
Yeah. This is too much fun. It's too much fun doing this stuff. But this is the stuff. If you folks can practice enough, overcoming, just realize that these stalls and objections, if you can get through the door with pattern interrupts, get into a good conversation, ask the questions and qualify and put them in emotional pain. The math, forget about the numbers game. Now you're the casino in Las Vegas. And does the casino in Las Vegas make money? Who's been to Vegas?
It was built by a bunch of losers, right?
Yeah. How come they got these $1 billion casino? It cost $1 billion to build a new casino in Vegas. How come they can raise that money?
The odds are in the house's favor.
It's totally in there. You go into casino. Everybody here been to Vegas or somewhere? Are there any clocks in the casino? Does it always feel like sundown or nighttime? Can you get a couple free drinks if you really want one?
Even more.
You end up paying for him anyway because you got a tip, And anyway, and what happens with the math on all these different games? The math is all in the favor of the winner. They let you win once in a while.
Yeah.
We have to do the same thing in sales. We have to set the math in our favor.
Mm-hmm.
Good stuff.
Yeah. Hey, Claude, thank you so much for jumping on. Really made the role play day fun. So
it's fun. Thank you for doing this. Role Play Wednesday is always my favorite. Thank you.
Awesome. Hey, everyone, thanks for jumping on here.
How about a round for Brandon?
Thank you so much, Claude. Appreciate it.
Good job.
Thanks, Ty.
Good job. Thank you. Appreciate it.
Make some calls.
Let's make some calls, make some offers, get some deals, get paid today.
Talk to the Walmart greeter, practice, talk to the cashier, talk to the barista. See if you can engage people in nice, short, little friendly conversations. Okay, and watch them and build your confidence up so that when you're doing that business call, it's a nice, easy transition. That's all you have to do is talk to a few people every day, make a few offers, follow up on those offers, and you will be a 1%er.
David had his hand up. Go ahead, David.
Yeah, so I'm also just starting in this like 2 weeks in or something like that, and set up my RER reply, and I'm getting responses now, and I'm gonna call on these people like in an hour. So I already texted, said, "Can I give you a call?" I said, "Yeah, go ahead." So should I lead? I lead with the agenda and then getting the whole thing, the script. But I'm going for lease options. So like that's what I offer. My offer.
Right. So are these people that are selling their house for sale by owner or for rent by owner?
For sale by owner. Okay. And on my text message, my first one is, would you consider 12 to 24 months rent and then purchase? Is this a yes or no? Basically the script that Justin put me on.
Yeah. So the key there, as soon as you start going on, you want to have a little bit of a pattern interrupt.
Mhm.
Like I like the someone's, I forget, I think it was Tim that said it, or I can't remember who said it. Am I too late?
Yeah. Am I too late?
Or a lot of times you just want to have a good conversation and then go through the qualifying steps. Up front though, you set the agenda, right? Right at the very first. And then within about 3 minutes, you should be able to go through some qualifying questions and know if you're going to spend any more time with that potential lead or not. And if you think you can work out a deal or possibly not. Go ahead, Clyde.
Something new I'm adding when I come out with Gut 6.0 in the agenda step, I'm adding something new. I say to the prospect, I'd like to ask you a few questions and then make you an offer so we can do business today. Do you think I get their attention when I use words like that?
Yes.
Yeah. I want them to know that I'm serious. I want to make them an offer. I don't know if they'll accept my offer. It might be price or terms or a lease option, might even be a consultation, okay. But the thing about it is, how many people, when they make an initial phone call, say, I'd like to ask you a few questions, Ronnie Howard, just, find out about your property, and then I'll make you an offer and we can move forward, or you can fire me. Is that all right with you?
Yes.
Oh, thank you. You're so nice to me. Thank you. You get their attention with the pattern interrupts and saying, I'd like to make you an offer today. I don't think many people say that, do they? Okay.
Not enough. Not enough.
Not
David,
enough.
I think if you're calling through that software, it gives you the ability to record your calls. If you're in a state that's allowed to, I recommend that so you go back and listen for yourself.
Okay.
The more you role play like this, like as we're doing in these calls, the more you listen to yourself, you start, oh, I should have said this, or I had an opportunity, I missed something there,
Okay.
Get better and better.
The other thing I add into the agenda that's new is I add a stroke. I not only talk about this is new stuff nobody knows about. You guys are getting this. See, you better thank Brandon.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Writing this down.
The thing about, you tell them, I'd like to make you an offer, but first I need a little bit more information. And then when they respond, like what did Ronnie say? Oh, yes, yeah, I'm sure. And I said, thank you. You're so nice to me. Give them a stroke. A stroke is an acknowledgement, a sincere compliment, or something like that. What happens when we're nice to people? We talked about that earlier. What happens when we compliment people?
Dopamine.
Reciprocity, right?
Yeah.
They want to.
Yeah. I went into a quick story. I swim every day. I do laps and running every day. And a week ago, the lifeguard had to run in a little one. Mom wasn't watching the child. A little one was struggling in the water, and she got the kid out of the water. It was okay and everything like that. And about an hour later, I went into the lifeguard room, 4 or 5, and I went to the one girl and I said, you did a great job. Thank you for watching out and taking care of all of us and protecting us. And big smiles, big smile. And now I know all the lifeguards. Okay. It's so easy to just say thank you or acknowledge people, even on a phone call. It makes a difference with the tone of the phone call. So it's not, how many people here besides me have been stressed out on a phone call, felt uncomfortable? Anybody here ever go on a blind date and nobody's talking? It's just that silence. Most uncomfortable feeling in the world, right?
Yeah. My wife's not blind anymore though. So.
Because you used your 3-minute timer. That's an inside joke.
It's true, Claude. You're right.
It's just it's the art and the science. There is an art, a little theater, a little acting ability. Okay. If you're having a bad day, do you want that to translate through the phone?
No.
You want to make that person like and trust you, feel special, get information from that person. So maybe you can make an offer. Maybe you can, that one person, you might make a year's salary on that one deal.
Sincerity, authenticity, and the right tonality, Claude, I think is really helpful.
Yeah. It's amazing. Instead of just reading a script, that back to Ronnie, thank you for saying that. That's the thing about a script is you're just reading it over and over again. You're calling 100 people, like Brandon said, and everything. And then you're exhausted. You ever get that emotional drain, not a physical tired, an emotional tired? You're just so up,
Yes.
and the next day, and some overpriced guru said, oh, Ronnie, you got to make another 150 phone calls, get out the paper clips, and what are you going to do? Are you really going to make that 150 phone calls and go through the next day and the next day? No, because we're human. And I recognize our ability to handle that. We're emotional, tribal people. So if we have good experiences, we can make more phone calls. And if we make more good phone calls, we can make more money. I only make a couple. I don't make 1,000 phone calls. I make a few phone calls a day. Even when I leave a voicemail, maybe next time, Brandon, next time you set up a thing,
yes,
talk about voicemails.
Leaving gut style voicemails. Yeah. And that's part of the 5, right? That's part of our rule of 5 is leaving good voice messages that get their attention to call us back. So, well, everyone, I got to jump off, but I appreciate it. Oh, Claude, you want to do one more voice? Oh, you got a call. Okay. Bye, everybody.